Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Get down, really. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Woo-wee! Welcome to Reality Spirituality. She's back. She's back. That's right. I took a couple of weeks off for vacation. I traveled to California, and I was there for 2 Sundays, so I took two weekends off from Reality Spirituality. Boy, am I glad to be back. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. Who the hell am I? Well, I am Rebecca L. Norrington, the world's only, I'm going to say only, happiness specialist. And what the hell does that mean? That means that with this show, I share with you, my dear, 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 sweet audience, behaviors, tools, strategies, different ways, different perspectives that is going to add to your happiness. And let's talk about this happiness thing, because it is an epidemic. This unhappiness is an epidemic. And what I share on this show are formulas, things that you can do, things that you can eliminate, behaviors that you can eliminate that will actually add to your happiness, and practicing behaviors that, eliminating behaviors that subtract from your happiness and practicing the behaviors that add to your happiness. That's what I share on this show. And just taking a couple of weeks off, I've got to say, just like anything else, this wanting to be happier, this happiness is a practice skill. So the more you practice, the stronger your foundation. The stronger your foundation, the more likely it's going to be when you are hit by life's challenges, guess what? You're going to go into automatic mode. You know how you go into automatic mode when you're wronged, when you're slighted, when somebody cuts you off on the freeway, or maybe someone says something insulting. You know how you go into automatic mode of being insulted or getting your feelings hurt or getting annoyed. No, what I share is the automatic mode to instant. Hold on a second. Oh, whew. I thought I lost you, my dear audience. The screen just went black. Anywho, what I share on this show is what to practice that's going to add to your happiness and what to eliminate that subtracts from happiness. Let's just talk real talk here. This happiness that I'm talking about is a vibration. It is an energy, and you can feel when you are have that sense of well-being, the contentment, feeling a sense of balance, of relaxation, a sense of peace. All of this is tied into being happy. It's the same, feeling content, being at peace internally, externally. When you are at peace, you are feeling happy. Now, some people use the word, some people don't like the word. It doesn't matter. What I'm really talking about is a calming, peaceful vibration that does not leave you. It becomes a part of you. It becomes your identity. This peaceful vibration becomes who you are. You become a vibration of peace. That's what I'm talking about when I say how to feel, be happier. It is a vibrational shift. It is a vibrational point. It is a vibrational foundation. Happiness is a vibration. Happiness is a practice skill. Happiness is being able to be at peace, vibrate peace, regardless of what happens to you and regardless of what doesn't happen. And for you people that have been listening to this show forever, it seems like, I know you're hearing some of the same thing over and over, but it really sets the tone for the show. It sets the tone to share with, to let my new new listeners. It's always good to give a little bit of a background, a little bit of a foundation of what this show is about. And today's show is a direct reflection, is a direct result of my last 2 weeks. And if you listen to the show, you know that I share a lot of things backstage, behind the curtain, things that I don't know who else is sharing, but this happiness is a moment-by-moment, real-life decisions in every single moment. It is about living consciously, being self-aware, and being able to choose in every moment, choosing peace as opposed to choosing drama. Happiness is a practice skill, and there are formulas for happiness. Some of the behaviors that you will want to practice eliminating from your life forever because they subtract from happiness. It's just like eliminating fried foods. It's just like eliminating potato chips or eliminating French fries or eliminating chocolate or eliminating bread and butter. It's the same type of thing. When you know what to eliminate, you are going to get the results of feeling more peaceful. It's the same. It is a practice, and it is a simple. When I say simple, the concepts are simple, but the practice is the challenge. The practice is a challenge. Hey, shout out to Nathan. Hey, Nathan. So today's show is about personal growth. It's about personal growth, being aware of your own growth and the value of it. See, it was really interesting to me to go back to California for 2 weeks and come up with or experience that, wow, there was a time when this, fill in the blank, really used to bother me. And now it doesn't bother me anymore. And that's what I'm talking about when I say being self-aware and being conscious of your personal growth and valuing your personal growth. Not only to be aware of it, but to realize that there is value in growing. And the value is the more you grow, the more perspectives you can have, because the more you grow, the more perspectives you're going to automatically be able to envision or to come up with when things are bothering you. Meaning, say something is annoying you. Well, if you look at the same problem the same way with the same eyes, you're going to feel the same way. But if you look at the same problem, quote, challenge, whatever you want to call it, irritation, annoyance, and you expand your perspective and you practice looking at the same issue in a different way, that's growth. And the more you grow, the more you can automatically just shift to, I'm going to look at the same situation differently. Let me be very specific. Let me get more specific. There was a time in my life where how much I weighed was a real problem and sharing it was a real problem. When I say a real problem, it was not going to happen. If I weighed, let's just say if I weighed 140, 145, 150, which is high on my weight scale, which is tipping the scale of being heavy in my world for me. There was a time where I was not sharing that information. I wasn't talking about that information. And in fact, when I made the trip back to California, one of the things that I love to do is teach my aqua class. And the coordinator in the city of Duarte has allowed me, every time I go back to California, to teach my water class. When I say my water class, it's a water class that I started probably 10 years ago. And so when I go back, she lets me teach the class. Now, living in Oregon, I'm not going to, there's no, because the more I talk about it, the more it's a story. The bottom line is, since I've been living in Oregon, I probably gained about 10, maybe 15 pounds. I refuse to get on the scale. Even though I've had countless physicals, I refuse to get on the scale because I don't want to know the numbers, because the numbers don't matter to me and I just don't want to know. So I refuse to get on the scale, but there was a time. Now, hold on a second. Now, when I talked about teaching the water class, that means that I've got to get into a bathing suit. And that means other people have to see me in a bathing suit. And that means that, well, while I can be seen in a bathing suit last year when I was 15 pounds lighter, there was something in the back of my head, there was something in the back of my mind that said, you know what? Not this year. You're going to put on, you know how you put on leggings? They look like scuba diving outfits. You put on leggings that go all the way to the knees. Don't think that I didn't go on Amazon looking for a scuba diving, a bathing suit, because I felt self-conscious. That's right, happiness specialist, practicing what I talk about. I felt self-conscious going out in a bathing suit 15 pounds heavier. And there was no way I was going to let that happen. I wasn't going to. And the closer the date came to having to wear a bathing suit and let everybody see me that hadn't seen me in over a year, and now I'm 15 pounds heavier. But see, it's my issue. It has nothing to do with what anybody's going to say, whether there's judgments about it, whether there's comments about it, whether there's a discussion about it. All of the problems stem from all of the challenges, all of the anxiety, all of the duress came from me. It was coming from me. And I have to be honest, audience, I looked for a scuba diving bathing suit outfit for weeks. I knew I was going to California for weeks. For whatever reason, the universe did not let me find one. Thanks a lot, universe. And I had to wear a regular bathing suit. And I had, you know how you wear those coverall pants on. And I said, screw it. Either I'm going to get over this extra weight, I'm going to get over feeling a certain way about it, or I'm not. Either I care about, scratch that, not that I care. Either I am accepting of how I look with my extra weight, or I'm not. I either accept or I don't. I either judge or I criticize, or I just let go and let it go. Now, this might not sound like a big deal to you, but this was huge for me. Standing on the deck, overlooking an Olympic-sized pool with probably anywhere from 35 to 40 people in it. Some of them I didn't even know. I kicked off those pants, I kicked off my coveralls, and I screamed out, "That's right, I'm 15 pounds heavier, and who has a problem with that?" Now, the only one that had a problem with it was me. The only one that had issues with anything about me is me. When you realize that the criticism and the judgments about self are coming from self, guess what? That can only be empowering, because if it's coming from you, if you're the one that's causing it, if you are the one that is causing your angst and your anxiety and you're feeling less than, then that means that you can switch your perspective and you can feel and you can shift your vibration and you can feel a different way. If you can feel one way, you can feel another way. You can shift to another vibration. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying feeling, knowing, being self-aware. And the growth, the point of the growth is what I'm saying. The point of growth is being able to celebrate and to recognize even the smallest bits of growth. Just because, and I remember sharing this with my son this week, just because I look out into the forest and I see trees, I know they're growing. But just because I can't see their growth, just because I can't measure their growth with my naked eyes, with my own eyes, doesn't mean that there's no growth. So when you are self-aware and you make a commitment to being more peaceful, to feeling that vibration, being that vibration, not only feeling the vibration, but being a vibration of peace, the more you commit to that and you prioritize that and you prioritize peace, then guess what? The more you will feel it. When life hits you with its storms, when life hits you with its challenges. I want to share with you something that went viral last week, and it was a big to-do. Big to-do. And this is all about personal growth and judgment. And you tell me where you stand on this. Well, you don't have to tell me. You tell yourself. How's that? There was a video. Now, I don't know if the father was a celebrity or not, but I know the video went viral. And I believe that he is quote unquote a celebrity. But I don't know for sure. So I'm just going to say which isn't really the point. But the point is this: this video went viral. This young man has a toddler, and the child is probably, the child can walk, probably still in diapers, maybe 2 years old, a year and a half. But the toddler went to his dad. His dad sitting in this chair in the house, and with his feet crossed with no shoes on. And the toddler goes up to the dad's toes and starts chewing on the dad's toes. And when I say chewing, I mean chewing and chomping and chomping and chewing. It was really cute. It was really cute, and it was funny. Now, the problem came from this. Here we go. The problem, now when I say problem, I'm using air quotes. The problem came from all the comments that this dad received. Now, the toddler was chewing on the dad's toes, and the length of time was 7 minutes. 7 minutes. That's a long time to chew on toes, which was the first judgment, right? When I talk about being self-aware, I'm also talking about making judgments about self, making judgments about self, making judgments about others. So this child was chewing on, the video lasted for 7 minutes. Now this dad received, listen, there's so much shaming out there, dad shaming, baby shaming, chewing on toes shaming, all this kind of shaming crap. And people were sending in comments about how disgusting it is that you're letting a child chew on your toes. You can imagine the variety of criticism, negative comments, judgments, thumbs down. I guess there was a handful of, oh, how cute, what a fun video. But the majority, from what I gathered was that it was a big problem, people looking at someone else inside, of course the guy posted it, someone else's family, a father and his child, and now the people on the outside are making judgments about it. This is one of the core issues, challenges, if you are concerned or committed to or prioritize happiness and peace. Number one is paying attention to what anybody else is doing, making a judgment, making a comment about what anybody else is doing, sharing it, and especially, and listen, I'm talking about good comments and I'm talking about comments that aren't so good. Any kind of comment, even if you're saying, wow, hold on a second, we have someone that wants to contribute. Hold on a second, hold on. Even if you're making a comment, a good comment or a bad comment, paying attention, you know you're in somebody else's business when whatever they're doing has no effect on you. This baby chewing on his dad's toes had no effect on anybody making a comment. But you're bothered by being in their business. You're bothered by what you're seeing. You're judging what you're seeing. That is leading to your unhappiness. The child chewing on his dad's toes have nothing to do with you or have nothing to do with affecting you except for your judgments. Hold on a second. Let me. Well, welcome to Reality Spirituality, Nathan. Welcome to the show. What's going on? What's your comment?
You know, I really liked your opening about growth and how it's little by little, and how with that intention of growth are results of not getting irritated at things that we don't need to get irritated by. You know, finding little moments of joy in new places, maybe not getting irritated at a baby chomping on some dad's toes when you used to get irritated by it.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I'm going to use myself as an example. I would have had some kind of reaction, some kind of comment, some kind of disgust, some type of judgment about the boy and his dad's toes 5 years ago, 2 years ago. But that's the key. The key is when you are monitoring or when you are paying attention to your own growth and noticing that the smallest shift in what you used to care about or what you used to notice is not even available to you now. That's a time for celebration. That's a time for recognizing. I mean, we celebrate enough, birthdays, holidays. How about celebrating our own personal growth?
I'm really into that, and the fact that a lot of the times the growth is really small. You know, can we see the tree growing moment to moment? Not really, but every once in a while, maybe if you haven't looked at the tree and we look back out, maybe there's an apple on the tree all of a sudden. Maybe there's a flower.
Mm-hmm.
And, a very clear indication of growth. So celebrating the flower moments, more obvious times of growth, and just looking at the tree, maybe not even seeing anything different to the human eye, but just knowing or believing that it's growing. Let's celebrate that too.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, can you share with my audience something concrete that you noticed about self, that you noticed about Nathan, Nate, just whatever you're calling yourself these days? Specifically, what have you noticed? Today.
What I've noticed that's different is because I have noticed that it's different. I'm noticing the times where I am taking something, seriously or going deep versus something where I'm really making light of it and going easy and having fun.
Can you give us a specific?
Well, like right now, this is very serious, deep, life earth-shattering information. And well, I'll tell you, yesterday when I trekked out to Fire Island to see the show, I'm not a big travel planner. I like to make last-minute travel plans. I don't know what time I'm getting in, who's picking me up, the train times. I just realized that I don't really do that sometimes. Not every time, but a lot of the times my travel plans there aren't any. There's not a lot of planning in my travel plans. You know what I mean?
Yes, they're willy-nilly.
They're willy-nilly. So cut to me coming out to the island and then checking ferry and train times coming back. And there's not a time that I can take that's actually going to get me back to the city tonight. The ferry stops at a certain time. The trains stop at a certain time. And I really didn't check that going out. So there's a possibility of me being stranded on this island because I didn't really do my research. And now I'm talking to friends nearby. Can you pick me up from the ferry station? Maybe I can stay here. Are there any extra beds? What's going on? And it was a little bit of a mess. And I really had nobody. Please.
Or can I use the drama word?
Oh, drama. Well, I don't participate in drama anymore. But if you'd like to use that word, that's fine.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't drama. What you were just describing. That's not drama. In any shape or form. I am not a dramatic person at all. No.
No, not me. So anyways, I was on the beach looking out in the water and really not knowing, not really feeling a lot of flow. I really was uncertain about what was going to happen. And I decided to make that moment, that non-flow moment, a non-serious moment. It's just the way it was. I don't want to freak out. I was about to see a show, a comedy show. So I'm not about to put myself into a state of distress. I'm making light of this. And it also was a nice lesson in planning and where I can be a little bit more efficient. But it wasn't a lesson that I was beating myself up over.
Mm. So it sounded like, and speaking of sounds like, it's so interesting. I don't know if you can hear all the static, but there's been a lot of static on the show today.
Oh, no, it sounds pretty good from my end.
Oh, okay. Then maybe it's just on this end. But it sounds like what you just described was you experiencing something that, number one, you didn't have any control over, and you let go of this whole control thing, and so it is a letting go of trying to control or trying to think that something is quote unquote wrong, and just being in the moment and experiencing the moment and letting go of everything else about, I could have been here, or could have been there, letting go of the story. But it just sounds like you just let go and you just experienced the moment, whatever that moment was.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. I did let go of the control of something was wrong with the moment. At the same time, I did realize what I could have controlled, or what I could control for next time. So for next time, if something happens, I can look at the trains not only going there but coming back. Those are things I can control. But in that moment, it's already happening. So yeah, you're right. There wasn't. I didn't want to make space for, I should have done this. What am I going to do now if I do this? Yeah, because I really didn't have control because the moment's already here. But I did have thoughts of, I shouldn't have even come. I shouldn't be here. This is a sign I'm not flowing. I had all of those thoughts at first. And then what you just said came over me. And I just, instead of going into the past for too long, I just said, well, I'm here right now, and we're going to move forward into the next moment, and this is how I would like to move forward into the next moment.
So it sounds like you just described something. See, the whole thing flowing, it's not about flowing when things are always moving right, when we have the right train schedule and we know we can get back on the train and we.
Right.
That's not even issue, and that's easy, and that really doesn't offer anything for growth. What offers for growth, we're talking about growth today, is what you just experienced, and how you were able to shift even in the moment. See, the growth comes from the challenges. The growth comes from being uncomfortable. The growth comes from recognizing, that's the ego wanting me to believe that there's something wrong with this moment. The growth comes from the awareness of, okay, this isn't serious. The growth comes from the awareness of letting go of any kind of control. The growth comes from what you just experienced. And then you said, that next time, there's a possibility that you will look at the train schedule. Whether you look at the train schedule or not is not even the issue. The issue is allowing all the moments to unfold, no matter what they look like, and then you have the ability to flow with all of them, no matter what they look like or feel like, and then you have an idea for what you might do differently in the future. But you don't even have to do anything differently. But see, these moments that you just described, you just got a gift to show off your growth, your what you can do now.
I love all of that, and that's exactly right. The growth does come from those moments. And I think just knowing that in the moment helps me relax into it a little bit. Okay, it might seem like I would want it this way, but it's a different way. But I know that there's a opportunity for growth. I know that there's a chance to get something from this other than just, I'm uncomfortable. I'm upset. Well, I mean, that's like level one. Like that is a part of it too. It's just being an awareness of, okay, I'm feeling a certain type of way. I am feeling an emotion, and that is growth too. Just seeing that, and then so how can we take that a step farther and keep moving? You know, when you say growth, I am seeing the tree bark expanding, seeing the leaves growing. Growth is movement. So growth doesn't stay in one spot. Okay, so I'm feeling angry that I didn't plan this. And then where am I moving to after that statement? Well, I'm glad that I had this moment because I don't think I'm going to be angry at the same thing the next time. Now I don't need to really be angry about this anymore.
And let's dig a little bit deeper too. Let's really dig deeper. This whole thing is I'm angry because of the way this moment is unfolding. I'm angry because I possibility can't stay here or gotta go. You know, you missed the train, gotta go home. Don't want to go home. All of that I'm angry because of is another story. Is a story concocted by my ego. My ego is always willing to. It just cannot wait to point out what's wrong with this moment. My ego
and the why,
is the first reason. Is not only is to point out what's wrong with this moment, it's going to give me some bogus bullshit reasons why. See, it's because the train.
Let me jump in really quick because if we're talking about a tree growing or the plant growing, and say the plant is wilting, there is a reason why, or maybe many reasons why the plant is wilting. Maybe it does need more water. Maybe it needs more sun. Maybe it doesn't need less sun. And I think some stories are bogus and some stories are just a fact. But I think the ego may throw some bogus stories in there, so I think it's our job to decipher what is actually true or could be true or what we really just don't know. Because I know that if I checked those train times before I went, I would have had a different experience.
Yeah,
I might have still been angry about something, though, but...
No. But you would have had a different experience. But just because you checked the train time doesn't mean that you would have had a train to take you back. Trains can repair, not repair, break down. So the thing about what I know is knowing that I don't know. You said, this is so good. You said there is a reason why the leaves wilt, or there is a reason why whether they need sun or whether they need water. How about this? The leaves are wilting because it's time for the tree leaves to wilt. Period.
Well, that's true. Now that is true. Yeah,
and that's so this whole thing about knowing and I know there are so many different dimensions on this planet, dark dimensions, dark matter, cells, amoebas, things I can't even see. There's very little things that I know.
Especially you.
Exactly. And the reason why I know so little is because I want peace so much. The less I know, the more peaceful I'm going to be. How's that?
I love that. And with that, I bid you adieu, RLN, as I head to teach class.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on your show.
I love having you on the show. No, I do. You're such a challenge to the audience, but not to me. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
No, Nathan, no. Nathan, no.
All right. Well, that wasn't very funny.
I love you. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you, Mom. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
bye, Reality Spiritualityers.
Bye, everyone. Now, wasn't that a great call? See, and it's not just because he's my son. Where the hell was I? Oh, about growing. and let's say this, it is a recognizing when the ego is talking and when the ego is not talking. And the ego will point out whatever it can point out to make me feel as horrible or as miserable or as rotten as possible about what I'm doing, what my life looks like, all of it, where I am, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, how life is unfolding. Oh, there's always a problem with the ego, always a problem. But when you recognize the difference between that voice that is that man, that ego, critical voice, there's always something wrong, there is a recognizing, and you can step out of it and you can let go of identifying with that voice and just witnessing the voice, just witnessing. Happiness is a vibration. Happiness is a practice skill. Happiness is being able to be rooted in peace. Your foundation is peace. Your foundation is contentment, regardless of what happens to you in your life, regardless of what happens to you on this journey. One of the things that somebody said to me yesterday, oh my gosh, this used to bother the hell out of me. It used to just bother the hell out of me, which was when someone would see me and would say, oh, you look tired. And I don't know why that sentence bothered me. Well, it used to bother me because I would think that, oh, I didn't look a certain way. I looked tired. I didn't look cute. I didn't look beautiful. I looked tired. That's what it used to feel to me or mean to me. And now I got it yesterday. She said, boy, you look really tired. And I just flowed with it, and I said, then I must be. There is such a difference, there is such a shift in when you can let go of the things that used to bother you, that used to annoy you, that used to push your buttons, and you can just let go of it. You can hear the same things, but your reaction, your vibration is totally different. That's growth, my dear audience. That's growth. It's the same as when I first moved to Oregon and I had the birds banging on the windows, and it used to bother me, anger me so much. And now when the birds bang on the windows, all I do is I just go outside and I take care of it, and I do my little thing, and I shuffle my little fake owls around, and the birds leave. But the anger and all that other angst that went with it is not there. It's gone. Personal growth, being able to monitor, being able to recognize, even just being conscious of it, is a very important step in growing and being rooted in peace and happiness and contentment and satisfaction and balance and relaxation. Well, that's all that's going on today, Reality Spirituality. I'm glad to be back. Thank you for welcoming me back. Thank you for listening. Reality Spirituality is heard every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com, RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RLNorrington. My Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. Go on YouTube. I have a few videos on YouTube. Yes, I do. Yeah, I was looking at a couple of my videos. There is one video of me. I was being interviewed, I guess it was maybe 4 years ago or so, and my hair was bone straight. I don't even know how I got my hair to go that straight, because it wouldn't go that straight now if I tried. Maybe that was when I had my straightener in it. That's probably what it was. Bone straight. Anywho, I digress. My first book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, to be purchased on Amazon and also lulu.com. It's LULU.com. My second book, Program for Unhappiness, is being written. I just don't know when it's going to be finished. How's that for uncertainty? And until next week, my dear audience, I want you to remember who you are. You're a physical extension of the universe. You're always evolving. You're always changing. You're always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. And remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. It is about the journey. I'll talk to you again next week. Have a conscious, growth filled week. Reality, spirituality. Thank you for listening.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality, spirituality.